Hi everyone, I truly hope you're doing well in these challenging times. I just want to remind you that God is still in charge and He is still seated on the throne, so we look to Him. I love the scripture in Psalm 34 that says, "Those who look to Him are radiant." But after looking to Him, we must also look to one another, to love and to help. In fact, this is the main purpose of this video. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. I've traveled to Turkey for ministry many times over the years, and I'm continuously in communication with the Iranian pastors and leaders there, and I want to talk to you about Turkey a little bit. A couple of months ago, the Turkish government stopped providing health insurance to its refugees. As you can imagine, this created a massive hurdle for many. 90% of its refugees work in restaurants and are paid way below the minimum wage. They have no savings whatsoever, and even before this crisis, they were barely able to make ends meet. Now, due to COVID-19 and the closure of all restaurants, hundreds of families can't pay their rent and don't have money to buy food and other necessities. Mere words cannot describe what this community is experiencing. I personally have spoken to some of the men in those families, and they were in tears throughout every entire conversation. Those families are praying for what we already have, and they desire the very basic needs of life that we can easily provide, which is what I want to ask you to do. One of the men I spoke with was a newborn Christian and said something that impacted me deeply. He said, "I just started reading the Bible and I love it, but I'm also very confused because what I read in the book of Acts and what I read in the epistles about the church are dramatically different from today's church. For example, isn't the church supposed to be a family? I would sacrifice a lot to help my family members, but how come many of our family members in the West know our situation in Turkey and nobody does anything?" Well, maybe they don't know, which is the reason that I'm doing this video. I experienced shame at that moment because he was right. I never helped them financially. I never asked people to help them. I never sacrificed anything except my time. And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. Hebrews 13:16. Upon having this light bulb moment, these past 2 months looked tremendously different in my household. My wife and I began to give as much as we could to our points of contact in Turkey. I even forwarded all the donations made to Send Me Out Ministries for the last 2 months to help those families in need. Yes, it was a financial sacrifice, but not even comparable to the blessings these families received. And the joy we experienced after seeing the photos and videos sent back to us was worth everything. We usually use the scripture that says, "Give and it shall be given to you," but after talking to many Persians in Turkey, I told myself what I want to tell you: give because it has been given to you. You know, we are so blessed in this country, and we need to be a blessing. Helping the poor is a responsibility that Jesus directly gave us. It is not only His job to help those in need, but ours as well. In fact, if the leg is in pain, the hand is the first to help, not the head. Jesus is the head, and we are the different parts of His body. I just want to encourage you. I just want to ask you to pray about this and give whatever amount He puts in your heart, knowing that 100% of your donation will go to help those families in need. Your help and support will not only benefit many believers, but it will also benefit Muslims in desperate need of the gospel. I say this because just like what we did the last 2 months, many Muslims will hear the gospel while our team in Turkey provides them with food and other basic necessities. I want to thank you for your partnership and for your faithful giving. I want to thank you in advance, and I want to remind us that God will bless us even more as we bless others. Proverbs 19:17 says, "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and He will reward them for what they have done." God bless you.